Thanks for joining me today. We're going to do ourselves a breakdown video and upgrade of the Flytanium arcade. This is my second arcade. This one happened to be on sale, a Christmas sale at 50% off. So I just couldn't seem to hold back from getting that. I've been really interested in doing a new variety. So I'm excited about this one. It's been a while since I've done a full breakdown video. Let's get into it. This is a pretty exciting one. So here we have the arcade with the boxing. So Flytanium comes in a fairly nice box, although loose fit, so you wouldn't want to throw this in a bag. Got ourselves a sticker. Got ourselves a little warranty knife. Oh, that's kind of cool. A little knife anatomy there, along with the customization info, care and warranty. Comes in a nice little bag with the Flytanium logo. We have the extra set of scales, the G10 that came with it. So let's set it out. So you can see here we got the, it's like a dark kind of matte green aluminum with the black DLC coated blade. It's pretty sweet. Got the shark lock, everything's blacked out. Clip, all the screws, hardware, back spacers, the actual shark lock itself, everything's blacked out. Comes with this really crazy neon yellow, not my cup of tea. So these black G10, those would look pretty good if we were to put those on. Let's see if I can get this on the right direction. Those would look pretty sweet. But what we have here from Flytanium, since I got such a good deal on it, I went ahead and purchased some replacement parts. The copper, right there, copper inserts. We have ourselves the, oh, a couple screws there too. Copper back spacer. And then finally, so here's the back spacer. And then finally we have the copper thumb stud. So there you have it. We're going to go all copper. So we will be green, black, and copper throughout. Leave the pocket clip in the black configuration. So let's see what we got here. So T6s it looks like. We'll start by taking our pocket clip off. Try and leave those screws in place. There we go. And we'll go ahead and take off our insets. So we're going to keep these here since that's on the clip side. Not a whole lot here. And then, oh, a little bit tighter. Got some Loctite on that one probably. Okay. Put this one here. Try and keep myself all organized so I know what goes where. Just kind of makes things easier. They all look like they're the same length so far. Okay, so there's our insets. 1, 2. So those are gone. Looks like we do have a captured pivot, which is nice. Now, one of the tricks you have to be careful of when you're dealing with the Demcos is they do have a coil spring in there. And I had this happen first time I dismantled a 80 20.5. I was in a hotel, dismantled it, that coil spring shot out, disappeared. We literally searched the entire room, had no luck finding it, and my youngest son was actually decided to look in the hotel trash can, which was about 8 feet away, and the coil had flown across the room and landed in the trash can. Pretty crazy. So you want to be real careful once you get out. So that's a show side screw. Captive pivots from the other side. Okay. You can see our spring is still being captive between these. So this is where we're going to want to be real careful. Let's go ahead and set this aside. That's the back spacer. So I'm just going to kind of use my hand Okay. I'm going to kind of try and brace that spring. You can see the spring there. Get it nice and easy. There it is. Good. Didn't fly away. Okay. Hope my head's not been in the way. I've been kind of leaning over it. Okay, so we'll just set that over here. Okay, so one backspacer, two backspacers, 1, 2 on the backspacers. Then we have little standoffs. Okay, so there's our, so we're going to clean those off. Our ball bearings. Oh. See if I can get this off the pivot. Come on. There we go. Pivot. There's that one. Just gotta get this one out. This one doesn't want to seem to come out. Push through pretty far. There it goes. Okay. All right, so now we got that. Okay. So we got everything in pieces now. So let's just kind of set it up. So let's go ahead and do some swapping out here of the accessories that we have picked up. So one is we're going to add in these. We're going to replace our, not replace because there wasn't a backspacer, we're going to add a backspacer. We're going to go ahead and do the thumb stud. Let's see what fits that. T8, I'm going to guess. Yep. Oh, okay. So we're going to have to use 2. There we go. Nice and easy. Yeah, they had a tiny bit of Loctite on it. There we go. Okay. Got some Loctite debris, it looks like. Okay. So that means we'll have our copper thumb stud here. So in terms of the cleanup, so we're just going to take that, do a little bit of cleanup, do it again. Let's go ahead and clean the blade off. So we're just using a little alcohol. And we'll clean all of them, including the copper, just in case there's any manufacturing debris on it. Apologize for those of you that don't really want to watch a cleanup like this, but like I said, maybe I'll figure out how to do chapters so people can skip forward. I usually just use the YouTube Studio on the iPhone app. I don't see anywhere to do it there, even though that's where you're supposed to do it. So maybe you have to do it on a computer, a PC, or a Chromebook or something. I don't know. I'll check into it maybe before, because this one's going to run a little bit long. But I don't think we have too much time left. To put together should be pretty quick. Lock bar. That really all that's left is the coil. Okay. Body screws. Usually I'll just come take the bit. Remember the T6s, so be careful. Don't put too much strain. Just do a quick little pinch it in between your fingers. Insert, twist. Almost there, guys. Stick with me. Almost there. 2 more screws in that pivot and a thumb stud. Good. Pivot here is a T10. It's like they use T10 for the pivot, but then T6 for the body screws. I kind of would like to see them maybe do the T6 and T8 on the body screws, or just T8 everywhere would be okay with me as well. I don't necessarily need a 10 on the pivot, but okay. All right, so we got that part done. Now, before we start doing it, we are going to condition the blade. So this is just a little Camilla oil. Just kind of puts a nice little protective coating, Probably don't need it that much on a DLC coating, but why not? Looks nice. Now comes for the meat and potatoes. Let's put this puppy together. So we know we have a captive pivot. So if we look here, we can see that this scale, which is the clip side, the non-show side, has the captive shape. So we can just put that. It's got a nice tight fit, which is good. Next, we're going to put our inset liner, steel liner, all the way flush. Everything lines up nicely. That's good. Washer in. And let's go ahead and get a little bit of lubricant going here. Lots of different lubricant choices here. I tend to use the brake feed clip. Just my personal favorite. If I can get it to 1 drop, 2 drops, 3 drops, don't need a lot. Put it on there, spin it around, put a couple drops on top, 1, 2, 3, should be enough. Let's get these standoffs in here, following our pattern, keeping them separate in order. So we got 1, we have 2, all right? Then though, we're going to get to the back spacer. So we're going to have 1 more standoff. So these are not going to go back in. Okay, so you got 2 of those you're going to be setting aside. Now I'm going to go ahead and that is the pocket clip side. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this middle screw in just to hold the back spacer in place. So Loctite, I used to use the one that looks like chapstick, but I just found that the liquid seems to hold a little bit better in my experience. Wow, that's like super tight. I definitely don't want to strip it. So I just switched over because this one I can put a little more pressure and have a little bit more control on it. Okay, it went in there just. So that should give us enough to actually keep moving forward. So let's go ahead and get our blade on. There's the blade. And then we have our lock bar. So we need to have that spring. So let's take it all the way open. Set it in place. Set our spring in. Okay, springs in, don't want it to fly out. Next, I'm going to take and put this on top. That actually went. There we go. Makes me feel better having that blade closed a little. There we go. We're all the way in there. Nice. Okay. It's interesting, the lock bar itself acts as the stop on the inside. Not sure if you guys can see that, but right here comes in contact right there and stops it before it hits anything. That's pretty slick. All right, now we just got to get our show scale on. Make sure everything looks like it's super flush. It is. Looks really good. Okay. I'll go ahead and put the pivot in first, but not tighten it down. It's like there's still some Loctite on here. It's okay. Once I get this on my other one I have, it's literally hasn't shifted at all. It's need no adjusting since I did the initial cleanup. And okay, now the round head screws go into the inset. And the flat heads go to the pocket clip. Okay. So the pocket clip fits fine, and the extra screw that they provide, which is a long flathead, I did use, but it doesn't, not sure I needed to. It looks like what I needed was a longer, they have one of these round heads shorter than the other. And I can't quite figure out, is there somewhere particular it goes, because it's not long enough to penetrate to the frame. So here I've got the two flats in the pocket clip. That leaves me 3 left. They gave me the one long that I used already, so that gives me 1 extra flat. But in terms of the round heads, I got 2 long and 1 short. 2 longs, 1 short. So I'm looking here at this other one. See, where did I put that short one? Let's go ahead and take both out, and we can look at it. Just be easier that way. Okay, so long and short. So you can see where those went. Long and short. Because boy, these seem to be going in just fine. Let's test this short one. Yeah, not a problem. And not a problem. So that implies long. Let's loosen up everything that's going into the back spacer so I can move around if needed. Yeah, I'm going to guess that screw is just stripped. See that? That's a little disappointing. So, short term, let's put this one in. That works just fine. All right, let's do our thumb stud. Now, thumb studs I have actually had loosen up, so I do the quick stop pretty readily on this. Pretty good. Go ahead and give it a little tight down. That's not good. Yep. This copper is really soft. It just stripped out completely. Other side's still good. A little loose. Just tighten up. Just hair. Rock tight. I do like the color combo. I'm a little disappointed in the screw, the fit and the finish. The fact that one screw stripped out that easy. The fact that the thumb stud stripped. I mean, look at that. Just stripped out in a heartbeat. I want to flip this around because I kind of like that black spot in the center being present on the show side. Just don't understand. It's just horrible. Okay, kind of like that. Yeah, it just needs a little breaking in. Okay, so we're all done. A few disappointments here. One is the thumb stud stripped out. I imagine that's probably my fault. I'm not going to hold anyone else. I may not have inserted my bit all the way in. That's the downside to having a T6 on a thumb stud, something you have to put on pretty darn tight. So I'm going to have to get a replacement for that. Not a big deal, fairly inexpensive. Bigger issue is one of the body screws, the tip of it stripped out. All the others fit really nicely, so I'm just using the extra. They give you one longer pocket clip screw when you buy the back spacer, I guess. So I'm using one of those extra pocket clip screws temporarily. So the problem obviously isn't the copper, it's the actual screw itself. I've looked at the screw, I can't see it, but I mean, it could be stripped right at the tip, maybe all it takes. So I'm going to contact Flytanium. I suspect they'll probably just send me, they may send me a new thumb stud as well, although I'll offer to pay for it if they need me to. But they'll certainly send me the body clip screw. So here we are. Fit and finish is pretty good, except for a couple issues with the screws. Again, I just wish we weren't using T6s. Overall, I like the copper with the green. I think it looks nice. I'm not sure how I feel about the copper thumb stud because the inlays are more of a matte. I might get my wife's opinion here real quick. Casey, I don't think they'll be able to hear you because I have my mic on, but give me your opinion. So green with the copper and a copper thumb stud. But you notice how the thumb stud seems so much brighter than the rest of it? No, not really. The other option I have is this kind of bronzed color. Let's see what you think of that compared. You say go copper. The brightness isn't too weird. Okay, cool. All right, so Casey says stick with the copper. She's got good taste. So, and I'm probably more questioning it because of the issue of the stripped out right here, as you can see. But anyway, let's get past that. Action needs a little breaking in, but you can see it's starting to drop. If we compare that to my existing, you see how that's just like a hydraulic. Boom. But this is brand new out of box, and with just a little bit, maybe if we do this. Okay. So we're going to get there, right? Just need some breaking in. Rock solid, very, very tight. I do like the combo. This is going to be kind of my user, my beater, because I really want to see how the copper will change over time, because generally copper will add some green hues. So I'm hoping it's going to kind of really blend well there. So I'm going to try and carry this one a lot, let those oils get in so that we can see that copper changing. Overall, I really, really like the arcade. It's about the perfect size for a good EDC carry. It's maybe a little bit larger than some of them, but the strength, the weight behind it. I thought about getting the titanium because you can see it's a little butt heavy, right? Especially since I have copper inlays. Let's see about the titanium. Yeah, so there you go. Titanium's more balanced, right? But the copper weighs more. So look at that. Let's see where it is. So it's about here, right? It's not too bad, right? Center of balance. So I had thought about getting the titanium scales, but unfortunately the titanium scales don't come in this green. I really wanted the green and the copper, so we're going to live with kind of this heavy. I wonder if I had stayed away from the back spacer, if the weight would be a little bit more balanced, but yeah, there's no doubt there's a heft difference here with that copper. So it won't be the lightest knife ever, but excellent. Reverse flicks nicely. I mean, considering how light it still is, I don't think that's a concern at all. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. I know it was a long one. I'll have to do some editing and because I think it went a little bit long, especially as I was trying to deal with the screw on the thumb stud. All right, have a good day. Thanks. Thanks for joining us today, and hit that subscribe button. See you soon.